The hardest part was stepping out of this repairman zone. There's some conflicts that builds character from both people. You're whole without me. I'm whole without you.
Your failure sounds more like it is directed towards the other person. But what was wrong with you?
Don't understand that the king is not serving the queen. It's you, sir. Come talk to me.
We got on so well.
Yeah,
it's almost like I didn't want to spoil that, and we had moments.
And this right here even goes back to why I don't support men and women being friends. What is that? She's like, oh. And then, and then after that, we're like, hold on. Wait a minute. What's happening?
Yeah, it was like, no, I got to go. Right? Nobody can come and say to me, did you know this? Yeah, I already know.
I'm not afraid to talk about these hard things because, granted, maybe I could have been wrong with my approach. Maybe I could not have been.
He's not like that. Like, there are different sides of him, and I allow him to be who he is, and he allows me to be who I am.
There are men out here who are also tired. You know what I'm saying? They're also tired. They're also scorned. So
I was just out there enjoying myself and really just trying to understand who I was as a person.
We fell in each other's lap.
Yeah, I knew that this had the potential to go somewhere, and I really wanted to put my energy and my time into this.
Wanted to. The process is going to help me with is the ability to articulate to you that this is what you did that put me in this space or that made me feel this way or this way.
It's a video.
Fine girl. See, it forces your head to go. Why are you looking at my code? Hey, you're looking hard though. You want to see what's in this phone? Yeah. Are you ready?
You don't hide your phone anyway.
I'm like, why are you acting like you don't already know what's in my phone?
I don't know the code for your phone though. I don't feel the need to look
at your own wrist. What is that? No. You see the meme where the guy was like, he woke up, he was crying. He's like waking up in the middle of the night, only to see a girl in the corner crying with your phone in her hand.
Oh my gosh, we don't do that. I think we're good to start.
We're good to start. Let's go, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of More to Love with myself, Mortadella.
And Biggs Almighty.
Hey.
Hey, you're sitting pretty close to me today.
Am I?
Nah.
I just want to make sure I'm in the frame.
Small announcements you've made to the world. Everybody know we're together, so you want to sit even closer.
I haven't made.
Hey, now there's no more space between us.
No, I haven't made any of that. What announcement are you talking about?
Okay. Well, anyways, go ahead before the phone locks. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. No. You're just in the way. That's all.
Okay. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them.
Anyway, right. So today.
Sure.
So today, I thought it'd be nice to address a couple of things. First of all, we got a really nice comment. I think someone asked.
You think?
Yeah. No, someone asked some stuff, quite a few questions. So that's why I thought I would read it here.
Okay, let's go for it.
I'm not trying to see where to start from. Okay, let me just read it. Okay. Because I think this particular episode was one where you were talking about having when you come home from work, someone running about your woman running a bar for you and stuff, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So it says, I'm curious how Biggs feels about a woman who owns her own business, who works hard and often keeps unconventional hours, so may not always be home to run his bath, cook for him, etc. How would that work for him? Also, I know he's been married before, and he seems to have had a lot of relationships and perhaps even lived with at least one other person he hasn't been married to. Mm-hmm. He seems to have done a lot of self-work and is an easygoing dude. So I wonder, to what does he attribute his track record of failed relationships to? Asked differently, does he acknowledge any responsibility for their failures? Yes. I think that's a great place to start, actually. Let's talk about your past relationships and why they failed.
God. Oh my! Are you ready? You want to do this on camera? Are you ready? We've already had that conversation. Let's begin with the letter. Okay, so
tell us.
Boy, okay. That's a load of.
So we don't have. Okay, you don't have to go into all the details.
Because you know me, I
know. I have to slow him down small. Yes.
I'll put it out there. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose.
Okay. So when I met you, I feel like you are quite an open person, right? You don't really hide a lot. You kind of put it out there. You say what you want, and so it is surprising, even for me, when I first met you, that you'd had failed relationships like that in the past. So what would you say has been like the number one thing that has caused your relationships to break down?
I ultimately would say me. Me and my mindset back then. And it's, I think somewhere in that the person said something about, work, and I've done a lot of work or whatever. The work is never ending, first and foremost. The work is never ending. You have to, even though women out here think all men are the same, or men out here think all women are the same, you are going to learn something new with a new partner every single time. There might be some similarities, but there's small nuances that it's like, hey, you might wake up today and be like, you know what? I thought I can deal with this. I am not going to put up with this. And some people will come in your life, give you what the last person was lacking, but they are coming with new headache that you're like, whoa, this is uncharted territory. I do not want no parts of this. Like, this ain't for me. And then you find yourself probably staying because what you lacked for so long is now present in your life. And you're thinking that this new uncharted territory is something that, one, you can either conquer, right? Conquer and overcome. Or, like, for me, the hardest part was stepping out of this repairman zone.
What do you mean by repairman?
I had this issue back then when I thought it was my job to fix somebody, right? If I saw your flaws, it was my job to create this space for you to be open and vulnerable, to show me your flaws. And when I saw the flaws, it was my job to help you through it and fix it. First off, not everybody wants to help. Some people are comfortable in their BS. You know what I'm saying? This is what is the norm to them. They don't want to get out of this thing. They think this is what love is. This is what a relationship entails. This is who they are. So they're not willing to change or anything. So I failed to realize a lot of those things like early in my relationship. The sad truth is, even though I am open and honest, like off gate, because I do that. It's kind of like a protective mechanism for me, where I put it all out there because I want what is for me. You know what I'm saying? I want what is meant for me. And I assume that because I do it, the person I'm doing it with is going to also open up and be straightforward and be like, all right, this is my good, my bad, my uglies. And then I be thinking that, as adults, we could both do that and be like, okay, you're not for me. Hey, it was good knowing you. It was nice knowing you. Let's keep it moving. But you meet somebody, they tell you that one thing, and you're like, oh, okay, like I could deal with that. But they're not being completely honest with you. They're telling you that's just the tip of the iceberg.
But I think, in fairness to the other people, I think sometimes we don't know that there is something wrong or that we have an issue, right? Until maybe a situation pops up, and then we think, and we sit down and we think, oh, I didn't really know this issue was there. So it may not necessarily be that the person is being dishonest about something or not being fully forthcoming, but maybe they haven't realized.
So then you move to phase 2. All right, now we are in a position where we have decided that maybe we want to do life together. And we have identified that this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a hindrance moving forward. Do we change? It's like, I feel like this is the conflict that most couples from different backgrounds go through, right? You acknowledge that this is happening. Now, do we get rid of it? Right? Do we, what do you call it? Do we get rid of it? Do we accommodate this behavior? It's basically those two things. Do we get rid of it, or do we accommodate this behavior? And once that is decided, then you can move forward. But it's like you don't sweep it under the rug. And sometimes we try to sweep it under the rug because it's not something that can be solved overnight, right? But then the next day comes. The next day, before you realize you're 2 years deep into this relationship, and it keeps on resurfacing. Not just resurfacing, but the envelope just keeps getting pushed further and further away, right? That's why now, again, another new lesson that I learned is like you got to have non-negotiables. Some things that the first sign of it, you got to go. I don't care how much I've invested in this relationship, even though, I do believe that there's some conflicts that like builds character from both people, right? But that you absolutely have to have some non-negotiables, right? And I feel like those things have to do with things that will endanger you or the other person, right? And if at this stage, in this space that we're communicating with people, we're talking about getting dating after divorce. Most of us dating after divorce have kids. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have your priorities in order. Like, what matters to you? Yourself. If you're a pillar in your family, you know what I'm saying? So you got to have all these things intact and realize that the person that you're dealing with, how does this person affect all these priorities in my life? If they don't add on to this and they're taken away from this and they can endanger this, my friend, find something else.
Maybe give me an example of a non-negotiable for you.
Any form of any physical abuse, like lack of somebody being emotionally able to emotionally regulate themselves, right? What I think that the term is the ability to self-soothe, right? I'm realizing that as much as I want to be able to be a person to bring you happiness, bring you discomfort, it's like if you can't do that for yourself, you're not even going to recognize when I'm trying to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be an addition in anybody's life.
You want to complement the person's life.
Yes, I want to be an addition. I want to add on top to what you already got going on. I don't want to come and be that. It's like I always used to believe, and to a certain degree, I still believe that in codependency, right? But I think the word really is like interdependency, right? To a certain degree, where it's like we function. It's like we're two puzzles that fit together. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it's like you're whole without me. I'm whole without you.
Yeah. We
just keep on. Is that multitude of things that is a great thing to have in a relationship versus, oh damn, if this person leaves, I feel like, if this person leaves me, I'm freaking devastated. So now when
that's codependency.
Yes, when certain non-negotiables come up, you're like you feel stuck. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's not good.
So so your failure that you're saying to me sounds more like it is directed towards the other person in some respects. But what was wrong with you?
I take full responsibility. My whole thing was I believed that as a man, all these things are your responsibility. Right? You take a woman, you find a woman, you take a woman. It's like basically my understanding of how society has painted it is that you're taking a woman from her dad. So now you're her dad. You know what I'm saying? So you have to provide everything. BS. That is absolute BS. It's like you're not you're a father to your kids. Yeah. That's that. If you're looking for a partner, at least me, if I'm looking for a partner, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody who's coming to add on. It's like, just like I think I said in previous, what do you call it? Podcast, right? Everybody wants princess treatment. Princess treatment is reserved for princesses. What do you think you're going to get back when you're given princess treatment? You're raising a child, basically. You feel me? I would rather give queen treatment, but then the person has to understand that this is the responsibility of what a queen does in a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And most queens don't understand that the king is not serving the queen. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's like, so that's why it's like, as men too, we also have to kind of like wise up and be like, okay, let's delve a little bit deeper. Like, princess treatment, what do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean by that?
We need to define it.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just want that emotional, like, you know what I'm saying, they want to be catered to and all of that stuff. That's fine, but it's like, hey, let's delve deep. Let's talk about the intricacies of what it is that you actually want.
That's definitely, I think that's definitely a thing that we don't address enough, or we don't look into ourselves. Like, what is it that you want from a relationship? Like, is that other person going to meet your needs beyond how they look, their physical appearance and all that? Can that person give you what you want? Are you able to compromise with each other and say, okay, this works, this doesn't work, let's work on this, you know?
I feel like people don't like to talk about those things because they feel like it's going to take away the magic of, like, I want you to know without me having to tell you type of situation, right? Which is not like at this, especially day after marriage. Nah, we can't do that no more. We can't play those games anymore. We're not in high school. We're not trying to discover ourselves. None of that stuff. At this point, you need to know what it is that you want. You should be able to articulate that to me, and I should be able to articulate to you whether I can provide those things for you or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing for you to know, it's one thing for me to know, but it's another thing for me to say, you know what? I can do that. Nah, I can't do that. Open the door for you every day. Why? Why? Now we're in the club. The club is getting shot up, and I'm like, oh babe, come on, princess, hurry up, get in the car. We're holding. Girl, you better catch up. You feel? I don't know. That's a little extreme. I get it, right? But I'm just saying, like, we're real human beings out here. We don't live in a romantic 2-hour movie. Our life consists of 24 hours, and if we're doing life partnerships, and we're thinking long term, bro, we're not about to be. It's not about to be a 24-hour movie, 365 days. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
So, our last podcast, some things came to light.
What came to light? Tell us. Tell us, Della, what came to light? Okay. I know that look.
What look?
What came to light?
Some things came to light in terms of our interactions.
What interactions? Oh, what interaction are you talking about?
What?
The way we are getting comfortable with each other. Hey! Oh! Your blush is really coming out. Hey! What? I don't think it's the makeup anymore. I think this time is.
You don't make this easy, do you? You really want me to suffer, isn't it?
Life is hard. Make it harder. Don't be happy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it came to light that obviously we
are together. Hey, you've taken 2 minutes, 2 whole minutes to just say that we are together. Yes, we are a team.
Yes,
we are a team. We are trying to explore life partnerships together, and we're trying to do it right. It could go wrong. It could go great. We don't know.
Yes. And I like that you just said that, because I think a lot of people are afraid to go into relationships because they're so worried that it could go wrong, which is always a possibility, especially when you go public, like how we are. It's very scary because anything can happen, especially having come from...
No. Everything can happen. Not anything can happen. Everything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you go public in the way that we have gone. It's quite... It can be a bit of a challenge, you know?
I don't think it's a challenge. I think it's whatever... At least for us. And I'll speak on this. Again, this is why I believe as men, right? And as time goes, I want to really focus, because that's what I am. I'm a man. I want to focus on the men, right? That's why I think it's really good to lead with honesty, being genuine, taking the time out to really figure yourself out, right? And know what you have figured out and know what you don't have figured out. And being able to communicate that and articulate that before you start dating. Because, bruh, when those things come out the trenches and you know who you are and, like, you know what I'm saying, what you've had to overcome and where you are in life, it makes it so much more easier for you and whoever has chosen you ultimately to just see this thing through. So... So I don't know about challenge for us. I don't know. Any challenger? Bring it on. Okay.
So let's tell a little bit about our story, how we've met, because we've not really shared that before. Okay. So this wasn't supposed to be a thing.
At all.
We started out as pure friends. Like, I had seen you a few times at some events.
She was crushing on me.
No, I wasn't.
She said, "You, sir. Come talk to me."
Hey, you've been watching too many films, my gosh. Anyways, I'd seen him at a few events, and I thought,
listen, we went to an event. I was minding my business. I went there to support the homie, Amma, and then someone said, "Is this seat taken?" Say, hey, who is this? Who is this person with this nice accent?
Tell them. Look, before we even got there, I'd seen him at some events, but I'd never spoken to him.
Yeah, the launching, at the launching.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. But he'd like walked past me, and like he did, he caught my attention, and I thought, oh, that's a nice, handsome man, And there was nothing more than that. I never like had the opportunity to talk to him. I wasn't even really looking for the opportunity to talk to you. I just was admiring the view. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, what was that view?
I was just admiring the view around you.
The aura.
Basically, yes. And then we went to an event, and you were on a table. You were by yourself, and we were told. I was standing up at the back, and we were told, like, "Can you guys take a seat, please?" And so I came and I sat at this table, and it wasn't even like.
And then you sat next to me,
but it wasn't an attraction thing like that.
No, it wasn't. I'm just being.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just like, oh, this guy seems cool. So I just said to him, oh, what's your name? And I don't even normally do that, which is really a weird thing because I'm actually very, very introverted. But
it was me.
I asked him his name, and then we started talking, and he just spewed out everything. Like,
you
did. He was like, "Yeah, I've been married before for 10 years."
No, not that first night.
Hey, you told me
at Ring.
Yeah.
No, that was at when we were leaving from Afrikiko. No, that was not the first.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't because that day we were with Ochami Kwame, remember? And then
that was at your book launching.
That was Ochami Kwame was at the book launch.
Yeah, because remember after the event, after we left the event, then we went to the after party. That's when we all were kicking it, and then I met Sana, and then we were all just chilling, and then we just started talking. Okay. And I was like, "Me, you don't want my wahala."
Yeah,
I was trying to push the line away.
He was, but we weren't. I think we found each other attractive, but we weren't gonna go there. Because honestly, at that time, I think you came into my life at a time when I kind of, I wouldn't say needed you, but it was nice to have someone to hang out with where there were no strings attached. So it was very easy.
We were, what was our first, outside boyfriend? Was that what it was? Or?
No, like, we had just been on each other's Instagram stories quite a lot. And then people were assuming that we were together. And so then I started this thing, not the boyfriend, because I'm like, this guy's going to spoil my market for me.
No. Let's talk about that. I was spoiling my market. We would go out and... somebody, like, I could tell, like, you could tell, as a man, you can tell who's crushing on you, who's, like, giving you signals. So I'm like, you know what? All right, I usually don't, I'm going to walk up to a girl and pick, because, especially at that time, I said, I don't want to know wahala. No, I'm here to have fun, take shots, enjoy myself in Ghana, and go back and go grind, right? So I just randomly went to speak to a girl, and she's like, oh, I saw you, but I didn't want to disturb because you were walking with your madam. I said, my madam? Who's my madam? I said, Della. You're not going out anymore. Everywhere I go, everybody's afraid to approach me because I'm walking with my madam. And she's like, please, I'm not with him. Take his number, take his wallet too.
Yeah, so literally, like, after the first few times I posted him, people were messaging me, who's that guy? Who's that guy? And then someone even said to me, could you give him my number? And I'm like, yeah, sure, take the number.
They're like sending me contacts.
Yeah, so like,
it's like, hey, you're catching people. I'm about to start dating you. I'm about to pimp you out.
Basically, yes.
Easier life.
Because, like, we got on so well. It's almost like I didn't want to spoil that, and we had moments, like, it just happened so quickly where we had moments where we had been so vulnerable to each other. Oh my God. We had, like, really... those were some
times.
We'd really gone really deep.
I think we had been... So, we really... The beauty of what transpired between us was, like, what I would call a true friendship. And this right here even goes back to why I don't support men and women being friends. Because look at us now. Look at us now.
That's why I stopped saying that. I'm like,
yeah, because I believed, everything, like both of us, we had this conversation. I was like, yo, they're like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, but I like what we got. I love what we got as friends. Like, to be able to speak to somebody without no intentions, I'm not curating my words to impress you, to reel you in, and vice versa. Like it's like, yo, I'm like, you seem like somebody who's wise. Tell me if I'm thinking about this wrong. Tell me, like, you know, I'm consulting in her. She's consulting me, and we just like, I'm like, all right, boom, like, okay, yeah, you're right about that. I could see that perspective or this, that, and the third. So we just had a very good foundational startup, like as friends, you know, which allowed me to like even open up more, because I'm like, this girl ain't trying to get nothing from me. Like, you know, what do I have to lose? Like, just tell it like it is, whatever the case is. And that was vice versa. Charlie, I was wrong. Now look at us. Look at us. We're in bondage.
It was very, very innocent. And although we were attracted to each other, I didn't really think that there was that much chemistry in that. Well, there was, but more people saw it more than we did ourselves.
I literally used to feel like, I'm like, yo, this is my road dog. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yo, we could go out and I'm Mr. Shot Clock that I don't even know shots. We outside.
Yeah.
Like, we are outside. We were the life of every event that we would go to. Like, and I was just like, yo, to have, like, we used to say, she'd be like, nah, you have me. I said, no, you have me. We always go at each other, because I was like, yo, we're so alike, but at the same time, so different too.
Yeah.
And it was just like, again, and that it's crazy, because even, like, when you say it now, I'm like, well, duh. Of course something is going to happen. Yeah. But it's like, back then, I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't even live in Ghana. What am I going to do?
And I definitely wasn't looking for anything long term. Like, I said at the beginning, like, I don't want anything long term. I don't want anything. Like, I just want to have fun. And so that's what we were trying to do. So we were going out a lot.
Real fun, no. Not
like
not
that.
Fun, no. Not that fun, no. Real fun. Like, hey,
real fun, yeah.
What up, homie? What you up to? What? Nah, let's not go to that event. Let's go to this one instead.
Yeah.
You know, like, so that was what we had.
Our first outing after that event was when I said, let's go to the theatre. Remember?
Yeah.
I was meant to go with Bailey, and she let me down that day. She was like, I'm tired. So I was like, oh man,
Grandma.
I know. I was like, who else can I ask?
Bailey the grandma.
So I called you and I was like, do you want to go to this event today? And you were like, yeah, sure, let's go. And then that was it. And even as soon as you pulled up in the Uber, and then I was, because I got there before him because he was late. So I was on my phone. You were late.
And so
I was on my phone.
Everybody knows. That's one thing all my exes will agree. Yes.
I was recording some content on my phone. So I'd put my phone on the stairs and I was just like doing this thing. And then he came behind me and he was like, joined me. And I was like, this is weird. I've never had a guy like step into that social media space
they
like
call me
that.
Paparazzi.
Yeah, and so we kind of realized we were on the same sort of vibe, and the night just kind of went from there, where we just ended up having so much fun that night. And then after that, we were going out almost every single day. He would come pick me up from my house, and then would go to wherever, then he'd drop me back, and then go back to his house, and like it was just pure fun. But people were seeing it and were like, you two are doing something.
You are doing that thing.
You are doing something.
The way they, like, even I remember. One of my boys, I ain't even gonna drop his name. He know who he is. Yeah. He was like, "Bro, what's up with you and Della?" Like, I was like, "Nigga, what? Yeah. Do your thing, bro. Why you bothering me about like that? Is Della home?" He's like, "Nah, man. I feel like I can't even talk to her." Because I was like, "Bro, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Nah, y'all. Maybe you just don't see it, right?" And then I posted something. I think it was a picture that we took, and he's like, "I knew y'all was together. Why you had?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then now look at us.
No. So basically what he did was he stepped out of bounds, and one night he dropped me home after an event, and then he was like,
snitch.
Snitch. Yes, I'm a snitch. He was like, he was giving me a hug to leave, right, because his Uber was there, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened next, but then all of a sudden he was like on my neck, and I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
This is what happened. This is what happened. I hugged Della, and she's like, "Oh, you give the best hugs." And then she smelled me, and she's like, "You smell good." Sometimes I said, "Let me smell your next." Sometimes I smelled. I said, "What is that?" She's like, "Oh." And then after that, we're like, "Hold on, wait a minute, what's happening?"
Yeah, he was like, "No, I got to go." Right? He was like, "I got to go. My Uber's here," and he ducked out.
I gotta go.
Yeah, he ducked out.
No. I know what that means.
Me too. I like. Although, like, we were like really good together.
Night.
I'm telling you, we were really good together. Like, fun like that. I was like, nah, this guy. I can't do this. I can't.
What's that?
So we were both holding back at that point. We were both like, because at that point we'd seen the chemistry.
I feel like at that point when we realized it, I said no. I said, I was going to call the last time. I said, no, I got to call somebody else to hang out with. I don't know what might happen tonight.
So he just, after that, he quickly got in his Uber, he left, and nothing happened beyond that. And then he came back another day, dropped me home again, and this time he leaned in.
Hey, it wasn't. Oh, you don't. How far is your Uber? I said, oh, maybe I'm about to call it. You don't have to call it now. You don't want anything to drink. And then I leaned in. You better tell the whole thing.
You did. He outside. He leaned in and he kissed me, and I was like, okay.
Hey, you were like, the came after you leaned back. You leaned back in. Hey. I have the videos.
Hey. Yeah, so basically for a long time we were not dating.
Yeah, for the longest time we weren't dating.
Honestly, it's actually been very recent. Like, how long would you say now?
Yeah, don't ask me.
No, he doesn't
numbers.
I don't know.
It
actually happened on your second trip to Ghana.
Yeah. On my second trip. And my first trip, I was there for 4 months.
Yeah, but I didn't know you for that all
no, she didn't. Like, yeah, I met at the ending of my 4-month trip to Ghana.
Mm-hmm. We met in September. The end of September.
Yeah.
And then we were together like every single
every day after that.
Mm-hmm. Until you left, which was the end of October.
Yeah. 31st. Literally, I got back here November 1st.
Yeah. And then after that, I think we basically spoke on the phone every single day. But we were not dating.
We weren't
dating. We were just...
catching up on life.
Yeah, we were just friends, and he was just very easy to talk to. There was like no effort, and I'd never experienced anything like this before. Like, I've had guys that I've been friends with, but not to this ease. This was like new for me, and so
you got me over here reminiscing.
So when he came back the second time,
because I said I didn't want to do long distance relationship. Now look at me.
Me neither. I didn't want to. Like, long distance what? I ain't got time for that. Like, no. But then before you'd even come back the second time, I think you were definitely taking more of an active role in my life, because sometimes I'd come to him with things that like maybe were tough in life, and I was asking him advice, and he was giving me advice, and you know, he was, I guess, and somewhere along the line you were kind of almost getting into communication with my kids as right?
For sure. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes he could hear them in the background. It was like, put him on the phone, let me speak to him. You know, like it. So it was kind of like building. So by the time you came back to Ghana, I think it was like everything was almost ready. You know, prepared.
The other ingredients was in the pot.
Yeah,
you just had to put some fire under it.
Exactly, you just had to go in the oven. You know, and so that's kind of how it happened. So it was never really.
Definitely not planned.
It wasn't.
Yeah, so it goes back to like, what was it that saying where it's like, it's going to find you, you know, love is going to find you, all of that stuff. And I feel like for me, what gave me the confidence to just, you know, embrace this is just the fact that, like, yeah, it could go wrong, but it could go very right too. You know, what I've learned from my past relationships. Again, the good lessons, apply it. The bad, get rid of it and see, you know. And one thing about me, I feel like I am very consistent across the board. As far as what I put out, as far as what I say. And I felt like finally I met somebody whose words were also matching their actions. And I was like, all right, well, I don't feel like I'm being bamboozled this time around, so let's see. I think I'm with a person who has some, you know, I feel like we all don't have 100% self-awareness, but I could deal with this level of self-awareness. I feel like this person knows how to take accountability, knows how to be like, you know what, yeah, I was absolutely wrong with that. Oh, you know what, damn, you're right, okay. Or even like, no, actually, you're wrong. Like, that's a fierce woman, you know, she'll argue her points, and if we don't see eye to eye on certain things, it's like, it's not the end of the world. You know, we can, you know, okay, different perspective, we respect it. You know what I'm saying? There was that element of respect. There's
always been a level of respect between us, even when we disagree. I don't think either of us ever raises our voice or anything like that. There's none of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we kind of go to our separate sides of the room for a little bit, and then we, you know, well,
regroup.
For me, I definitely have to go to the other side of the room, because sometimes sometimes you know the emotions, but we always come back together. Do you know what I mean? And
sort it out.
Yeah, we sort it out, and then we just continue. And I think one of the things that has been really, really good for our relationship is that we talk about the smallest things that might irritate the other person. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, he likes to sleep. If you disturb him when he's sleeping, he does not like it. So, like, I know, because I've done it a few times, I've disturbed him, and I'm like, hey, this is a different person. So, like, I know, like, let him have his sleep. If I want the best of him, then let him have his sleep. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, there's little things like that. So we talk through all these little things, so there aren't things that will sit and fester and snowball into other issues, you know.
And her, so she has to be fed. Hungry Della is not happy Della. you have me in this house. Everything's healthy. Everything's cardboard.
Yes.
Della has to have her chocolates. Yeah. Bella has to have her. What is it? What was the other stuff? Well, she loves this ginger tea, so that is stocked up. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a little healthy. Yeah. Everything else that we can manage. Yeah. And her sweets.
Yeah, he keeps me in check. Keeps me in check, which is nice.
But yeah, did we address all the questions? I feel like we forgot something.
I don't know.
Let's see. Yes, I was married before, unfortunately.
Oh, unfortunately. So why?
A lot of relationship. Oh God, yes. Huh? You asked me.
Okay, so no, I was gonna ask you. So why do you think that this relationship will work, as opposed to your previous ones?
Hey, that is. Okay, let me find the crystal ball real quick, and I think I'll look in the future. Nobody knows the future. Is it gonna work? Probably. Is it not gonna work? Probably not. We don't know. I think I have literally I lead with telling the ugly. Like, bro, like. You keep shaking it so hard your head will fall off. Hey.
Honestly, no, I commend you for that, because you know he told me so many things about himself up front, and I really like that, because I feel like nobody can come and say to me, "Did you know this?" Yeah, I already know. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's like you
tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, you like. There's not. I don't think there's anything you can hit me with that he has not already told me. Do you know what I mean? Because we all have things that maybe we're not 100% proud of, that we'd rather not come to light, whatever. But we share it with each other.
It's again another defense mechanism of mine, because I don't know, when I was growing up, right, and I watch videos, right, movies, and people are like, oh my God, they're about to blackmail him about this or having an affair. I say, if you told the truth, you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's like, say the truth and shame the devil. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the devil has over you. Like, the devil has the thing that you think is in the dark. So I'm like, if it's all out in the light, do your worst.
Yeah, yeah.
Do your worst. You know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like, there's a saying that I liked recently, and I don't remember where I heard it. I said, I think it was one of my favorite podcasts, right? Shout outs to My First Million. The guy said, Sam said, his dad always used to say, no matter how thin the pancake, there's always two sides of the story, right? Be open and honest about your side. You know, give grace to the other side, because again, sometimes people are speaking from emotions. They could be that's their reality is their reality just as much as your reality is your reality. Own your wrongdoings, own your truth. You know what I'm saying? Stand on it and put it out there. I'm not afraid to talk about these hard things, because, yeah, granted, maybe I could have been wrong with my approach. Maybe I could not have been. But are we not on this planet to learn and be better and grow? Like, you know what I'm saying? And you're not going to grow by, internalizing all these things, right? Not talking about these things and because we are social beings. Society decides morality, decides laws, decides all these things. So what is it that is socially or worldwidely acceptable, right? I want to put it out there because I'm like, hey, all right, maybe I might be wrong with my thinking, or maybe the world hasn't received this perspective of thinking before. What do y'all think about this? Is this wrong? Is this right? What? And go for it. Some other people don't agree with it. It is what it is.
Because we'll just address it very quickly, because obviously we had some
beef.
some comments come through.
Oh my God, people are ridiculous.
Yeah, which was not exactly as it was. But
it's not even that exactly as it was. It's like people, certain informations can come out, and you can, the type of person I am, I can pinpoint who or what or where this extends from, and I'm like, you don't even have the full story. Go get the full story and come back and come with facts. Like, why are we allowing this generation, anybody and everybody, to just spew nonsense? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's cut it out.
Yeah. So there was something you saw in here that you said you were going to say before I
forgot. I can't remember. I'm easygoing sometimes. When I've gotten all my sleep. If I don't have my sleep, don't bother me.
No, I think
make me some tea, either some Grand Rising, or some common herb, depending on what time of the day it is. You know what I'm saying?
Drinks a lot of tea.
Yes, plenty teas. All right, let's see. Again, putting myself on a pedestal that I should not have. It's not my responsibility to raise anybody or to pour into somebody like I would into my daughters. Unfortunately, even though I'm now, it says, do you accept any responsibility for the failures of my past relationship? I want to say I accept 100% of all responsibilities in my last relationship, but as I am now in this stage and every day I'm learning, maybe that percentage will maybe come down to like 90, right? Because I feel like as men, we are always told to be the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? There's a saying that my mom used to say that stuck with me, and it was like, if a fish should go bad, it starts from the head. Basically, if you are the head of the household, it's all you. Whatever goes wrong beneath you, it's all you. I agree with it, but no, nowadays, bro, everybody, like, we're all, like, as you get older, you're like, yo, hold on. Why? Why is that okay? Why does it have to fall on me? Maybe I need another man's perspective, somebody who has gone through the trenches, and you know what I'm saying? Why? I get it from a business perspective, though. That's why I am okay with saying, yeah, I take 100%. From a business perspective, it's like, if something is not going right, and then the CEO has to take flat, you get it. But at the end of the day, still not the CEO who did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If somebody stole something or sold off some information or whatever the case is, the CEO has to come and apologize for people's information being leaked. But he ain't do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you also have to put the blame where the blame needs to go. And I feel like that's the only way people are going to start repairing themselves. So I'll call out people's BS if I have to.
What do you think makes a relationship a solid one? So let me start by saying, like, I think one of the things that works for us in particular is that we don't try to change each other, right? I allow him to be who he is. I've had people in the past tell me, don't you think he goes out too much? Don't you think he's too outside? I'm like, no, you only know one side of him. Do you know what I mean? But
that's me in Ghana.
Yeah, that's him in Ghana.
Try that in Ghana. Try that in America. Your money will finish right now.
Yeah, like, he's not like that. Like, there are different sides of him. And I allow him to be who he is, and he allows me to be who I am. I'm very quirky. Like, I have some particular ways. Like,
I wouldn't say it's for me to know. And you people to never find out.
Like, we both have our ways, and we don't try to change the other person, because I think once you try to change the other person, that's where frustration and stuff like that comes in. Accept the person for who they are, and I think that very much works for us, It
goes hand in hand with a thought process of mine, which is part of being so open and straightforward, because it's like, show a person who you are and let them make that decision, period. Right? Because we are at a point in our lives where it's all about finding who and what is for us. Again, I've been on, like, I've had little, link ups and dates, and it's like, one of my best was getting on this phone, and the phone call lasted all of 5 minutes. It was like an interview. It was refreshing. It was like boom, boom, boom. It was like, we don't line this. Okay, cool. It's nice knowing you. Next time. I was like, whew. Like, thank God. Like, why can't it all be like this so that we can quickly get through this nonsense? So
without the emotions getting involved.
And I feel like some people knowingly do this because they know that they won't be picked right? Both men and women, they know that they won't be picked if they show this side of them. So I feel like that in itself is another horrible manipulative tactic. That's what I'm saying. Some people truly don't want what is for them out here. Because if you want what is for you out here, you would do what you need to do to weed it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, granted, there's still some people who are going to try and mirror you and do all that sick nonsense, but it's like, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn to be able to discern through that. You know.
Do you think that because obviously we're talking about dating after divorce, most people who are divorced are going to be of a particular age, right? Like 30 upwards.
Yeah, to a degree.
For the most part,
to a degree, if you deal with some military folks, man, sometimes we start a little too early, man. You know. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that it becomes harder to find a partner because? From the people that I've spoken to and my own fears I had before was that once you're of a certain age, it's harder to find somebody.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Like, whether we like it or not, you're competing. You're competing. And when you're a man who comes across, I don't like using this word, but like a high caliber woman, you're going to be competing. When you're, what do you call it? A woman who comes across a high caliber man, you're going to be competing. Nobody wants, like, a lot of people romanticize dating. They have an overinflated sense of self, and they don't want to be, it's not that they don't want to be humble, but the experience of dating humbles them, and they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you go out there and you see what it is. You know what I'm saying? That is like, it's no longer, you're not romanticizing the idea of like, oh, somebody's just gonna come sweep me off my feet. No, anybody, like, there are men out here who are also tired. You know what I'm saying? They're also tired. They're also scorned. So it's like, you can, right? Because I even know certain situations where it's like that, where it's like a woman, she can have, I don't know, I'll use you as an example, right? The lad's out here and she has 4 children and I have no children. And I come and the lad just feels like, well, I'm still good for my age. I'm still this, I'm still that. And I got 4 kids. Maybe I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I want somebody I want to start my own family with. You got to be able to accept that. Some people don't want to accept that. Some people could be and not this the fictional that I could be looking at like, well, there's a woman on Facebook who got 8 baby daddies and this, that, third, and she still landed $1 million, and why not me? You know what I'm saying? And we'll be carrying that burden till that kingdom come and not take care of herself, right? Take care of herself in the sense of like, you know what? Be real with herself. Like, all right, you know what? What is it that I'm actually looking for out here, right? Instead of like, you should only be competing with yourself. Ultimately, is what it breaks down to, right? You should only be competing with yourself, and to compete with yourself, you know that you know what? I was better than before. I'm worse than before, and if I'm worse than before, what can I do to improve myself so that I could be better for who is meant for me?
Yeah, that's 100% right. I think because when I met you, I think I was in quite a good space with myself, so that's why I wasn't looking. In particular for somebody that I needed to be with. I was just relaxed and I was just happy with how life was at that point. And so I was just out there enjoying myself and really just trying to understand who I was as a person.
We fell in each other's lap.
Yeah, and then it just kind of, the pieces just fell together, you know, and that's kind of how it was. So I wasn't out here like looking like, oh my gosh, you're gonna, you know. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It just kind of happened. I honestly, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if I should say it on camera, but I was kind of dating somebody else. Hey. You see, but it was it was like at the end of it, it was like it had died a death. It wasn't even doing anything at the time. So then I think once I realized that
somebody else, what was I doing?
What were you doing? We all like to know what we did.
Hey.
Anyway,
next topic. Another time.
So once I realized that we had chemistry, I was like, no. Because I knew that this had the potential to go somewhere, and I really wanted to put my energy and my time into
We
this.
wanted to. Because if we are going to do this, this is territorial.
Yeah,
Bigs don't play that.
Very, very territorial.
If we are going to do this, this is what it could look like.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that really, not surprised me, that's not the word I'm looking for, but one of the things that I had to be in touch with was the fact that you are very territorial, and there's certain things that as a man you expect, and these were things that I'd not necessarily been exposed to before, and so it was a new way. So I think there was definitely some things I had to pick up on the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, to make sure that this could work.
You're never too grown to learn. You know, and that goes for me very much, because every day I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm a learner.
We're both learning.
Yeah. We're still learning each other.
Yeah, we are, but I think we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Oh yeah, I don't
think we even argue that much. We sometimes,
Where has been our most argument? Like, where have we argued?
Really?
Della gets mad at. You know what Della gets mad at me for? You said we were going to shoot a podcast today. Why are we going to shoot a podcast? I said, my friend, you know the wahala is on my head top right now. I'm sitting here busy arguing with people. Like, I'm not in the headspace.
I know.
You two every day drink one of your teas so you can get in the headspace.
Yes, I do that sometimes.
That's about it.
Like, no, we don't really. No, I think because we deal with our issues when they're very small, that they don't really go any further than that. And like I said before, I accept you for who you are, even the fact that he's usually late.
Always.
And that can be very frustrating sometimes.
It's even frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Because I sit back and I'm like, why did I spend a whole 30 minutes looking for something I didn't even really need?
Yeah, so I think
working on it.
That's a little bit of a frustration there, but we don't really.
Not yet, right? Murphy's Law. Not yet. When it happens, don't worry. You people know about it.
In fact, there have been a couple of times where I've been vlogging, and I've actually said in the vlog, we've just finished.
Oh yeah.
We're like that's how honest. That's how honest I am. Like, I didn't even say it as a joke. Like, literally, sometimes we have just finished arguing, but we just move on.
It's like. I love how both of us like deal with conflict, because I'm the type of person, I would say my trait, it ain't toxic, and my trait is I need a moment to process what has happened. That moment could be an hour, that moment could be a day, that moment could be a week, I don't know, but I need a moment to be able to process, because what processing is going to help me with is the ability to articulate to you that this is what you did that put me in this space, or that made me feel this way or this way. But the beauty about me is when I get it off this chest, once it's brewed up and it's stirred up in here and I get it out here, whether you like it, I'm not looking for closure. I've gotten off my chest. Take it, leave it, be angry, be not angry, I don't care. I feel lighter. So now I can be very cheerful.
Yeah.
The good things, the last, like, she's very good at receiving. Okay, she's also going to take her time with it. She needs to process it right away, or she's processed it the right way. She voice her opinion, and then we have a good dialogue about our problems, and that's the best way we resolve our conflict. And then when it's done,
back to normal,
back to our shenanigans.
Like nothing even happened.
And at this in my past relationships, it's actually funny, because in my past relationships, my exes, and I didn't realize when it was happening, my exes didn't like it when, like, I'm the type of person, I'm like, too soon, like, after we've gotten over the hump of the problem, I will make jokes. I will make jokes. Like, I will make all the jokes, appropriate, inappropriate, but because I feel like I'm over it, so I can make the jokes about it now. My exes be like, too soon. They're like, ooh, fire back. So it's like we have that banter. So, but sometimes we will, 3 a.m. we're here dying, cackling, and making jokes at each other. So it just works.
It does.
It just works. I swear, man, if the world can see how we live, they would be like,
honestly,
oh my god, these
sometimes we're like, no, we need to put a camera somewhere just capture this, because the things that we do, my gosh,
oh my goodness,
people don't even want to see it. It's fun. Yeah, but it's fun. Honestly, if you get like a really good relationship, life feels so different. It feels easier. You still have your problems, but it feels easier because you have someone that you can share it with, you can offload to. Like, sometimes I come to him like I'm not even a person who cusses yet, but there's been times And he's like, and then when like the few times I do cuss, he's like, oh my gosh, that sounds so ridiculous. He's like, say it again. While I'm angry, you know. He's like, say it again, let me hear. And then I'll say it again and we'll start cracking up, and then he'll make me laugh and we'll both crack up laughing.
That is
and
hilarious.
it's just like that. And
Yeah, that's funny.
I just don't take it serious.
Oh shit, man. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are you angry? Are you doing stand up right now? I'm so confused.
Because I'm not a big cusser, and so like if I get to that point where I cuss, he thinks it's funny.
It's hilarious. I will cry. Please get me on camera because I want to laugh. I'm holding my laughter together. We ugly laugh so much.
We do.
Yeah.
Like if you're not watching the vlogs, you should definitely watch the vlogs because sometimes the vlogs catch
the vlog. Like when she got shit in on. Oh my. For like 3 days.
3 days he gave it to me. Like this guy would not let me rest. So we went to Texas and a bird pooped on me.
Hot shit.
On camera.
Because the lab thought she was hot shit. The bird showed her whose shit was hot. The lab said,
I had to accept all of it.
What are you gonna do? Me. Oh boy.
Anyway, that's enough about us.
Yes, please. Don't get us started. Be here all day.
This has been like a really nice journey, even though we haven't gone that far yet. So I'm like really enjoying this.
I'm embracing it.
What?
Gloss popping on camera. Hey. Please don't turn this into OnlyFans.
Yeah.
This is YouTube. Hey. Wahala. No more problems. Anyways.
So I'm going to end the video there. But if you have any questions or anything you'd like us to address in future videos, you can drop your comments into the comment section below. And that is the end of today's video. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment and share this video. Until next time, we are out. Luti Fafa. It was too soon.
Okay. Sorry. Teach me.
Luti Fafa.
Teach me the way it's says You like Wahala.
Me. You like Wahala.
Yeah, I like
me. I like you like Wahala.
It's a what? Alright, what are we doing today? It's 3.
3. Okay. You have eaten the day.
Hey, me? But I'm taking 10 years to construct the perfect. What do you call it? Oh, Lord.
Hey, stop recording.
Oh? You're lying.
I know.